Swami says, and now don't get shocked by this statement, but Swami does say that there is only one reason for which we were given the human life. There is only one reason for which we exist, only one purpose, and that purpose is to realize our own divinity and attain divinity. God may seem not to answer, but Swami has always said that there is no prayer which is unheard by divine. Swami says, every disappointment, frustration, every failure is really a gift of God. What we are taught by the divine inside, or at least I will speak that my Guru, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, he tells us that love means we be willing to sacrifice our personal interest, our own desires for some greater good. Swami was teaching me this, quite a heavy duty stuff, how I should be good all the time and how I should behave and conduct myself and this and that. And after a while I said, yeah, Baba, all that is good. You don't want me to be a party animal and just, be steady and calm down and all that is good. But I said, Baba, I want to have fun. That's what I asked him. And he said, oh, you want fun? Okay, close your eyes. I closed my eyes, and before I know, it was a gorgeous spectrum of lights flying all over, like much better than you can ever imagine. I was very amused, thrilled, but then I said, Baba, this is not what I was talking about. When I said fun, my idea of fun was ongoing fun, in life fun. But he says, Shivangini, this is the kind of thing that he's teaching. If I have that, I will feel having the fun without ever engaging in those activities which so far I am familiar with and calling them fun. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Welcome to part 4 of a special 5-part series, The Making of a Yogini. Shivangini Baile of Midland, Michigan was brought into the sphere of holy man Sri Sathya Sai Baba just 7 years before she died. In that time, Sai Baba brought her to the elevated spiritual state of Jivanmukta, a person living in the state of constant self-realization. Welcome to Souljourns. This video was recorded in Pepper Pike, Ohio on August 15, 2004, just 1 year before Shivangini left her body.
Sathya Sai Ram. In the environment that we grow in, majority of us, I'm assuming, we are surrounded by different kind of relationships. And in those relationships, we think that lot of affection is love. In fact, affection is truly something which grows too much, leads to attachment. Affection is something, if grows too much, it leads a person to eventually to grief, because attachment will bring about all those undesired qualities of anger, disappointments, frustrations, and as a result, we end up going against the element which we are after, the love. So what does it mean? We should have no affection to people? What we are taught by the divine inside, or at least I will speak that my Guru, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, he tells us That love means we be willing to sacrifice our personal interest, our own desires for some greater good. Not that I sacrifice mine to entertain your desires. No, that is not the right definition of love also, because that is the definition in the history, if you look at, has given rise to things like slavery. Yeah, you should given in the best interest of me. I'm hiring you, you do the work, right? And should I be submissive and given to that? No, that's not what is being taught here. What Swami says is love is something which should make us realize that the other individual at body and mind level appears to be different, but at soul level is same as me. Our identity is same. And when our identity is same, then it becomes easy for us to work together in harmony, live in love and cooperation with each other, be willing to sacrifices for each other, be willing to give and enjoy giving more than receiving. And that feeling with the understanding that we are all one, when that creeps in the hearts, that's what allows us to truly love others. And then we become selfless. We don't love because there is some, it's not a deal between two people of give and take. It's not that you do this for me and I do this for you, so I must love you. No. At that time, you are willing to give without ever having a desire to receive. You enjoy giving as much as you receive. When you reach that state of mind, that state of being, that's when you are capable of loving. That's when you share, you have concern, you are willing to sacrifice. I won't be comfortable, but if you would be and you need it, I would do it for you without I should have it too. That I disappears. And when we get into that kind of love, love takes the expression in our relationships differently. In husband and wife, love is companionship. Between mother and child, the fostering, the caring, the concern of the mother has for the child. Between mother and child, the child has the reverence and the willingness to trust the parent that it's being said for their own good and will have the willingness to obey. That expression is an expression of love. Between friends, comradeship, that's an expression of love. In our relationships, there are opportunities given to us by the divine to express that love. But if we not know how to do it correctly, then it might lead to just the opposite of love. Affection, attachment. What is attachment? Attachment is having a strong like and dislike for something. That is attachment. Strong like and dislike even for the results. He is your child. You have attachment to him if you have a strong desire even for his success. Okay? So should we stop guiding and coaching our children for succeeding? No. That is our obligatory duty. That is our dharma. That is our that's righteousness. That's your obligation. You cannot forego that. But to what extent we do, that determines, is it an attachment or simple guiding and coaching to the younger person because he or she needs it. So how we do it determines whether we are doing it out of attachment or we are doing it as our duty. We all have duties to fulfill. And when we fulfill our duties with love, meaning for the well-being of the others, and within the guidelines that have been given to us in the society, we all have a role in the society. We all play our role. We are a mother and a father and a child and a brother and a sister and a corporate employee or whatever. Whatever we do, if we do it with dedication, with love, devotion and dedication, and with the true undercurrent of love, then we allow ourselves to reach that state of being where we are at peace within our own self. We love, we give love, we receive love. But if we do not understand what love is, we may, in the name of love, we can be encroaching each other's space, we can be imposing, we can be harming each other without realizing. It's for your good, you must do it, instead of saying, it's for my good, what should I do it? Bring the focus back to my improvement versus your improvement. Bring the focus back to what I can contribute versus what I receive in this situation or this environment. So to me, speaking from heart is speaking from love. And we go to these kind of satsangs. I am assuming everybody knows what satsang is, like a company of the holy, the good, we having God-related conversations. That's what satsang really means. When we are in that kind of situation, we want to fill our mind with the correct understanding so that we can bring whatever we receive there into our daily life. And in every life, there are relationships, and love is the key factor there. So I chose to talk about that as how we can all be loving, caring, sharing without becoming a emotional burden for each other, but really relieving each other of the stresses, relieving each other of the pains because we care, because we love, and doing it the right way. That's what comes to mind today. When we are interested in some outcome of our actions or our thoughts, when there is any self, I sense in us, then we entertain that kind of question. And then we truly must be very careful, because yes, ego is a very tricky thing and it can creep up in a very subtle way at any time. Our mind can trick us into a lot of things. But when you allow yourself to let go of that I sense, there is no agenda of your own. You do if the opportunity is presented, Otherwise, you don't go out seeking opportunities. You talk if you are asked to, otherwise you shut up. Exactly. You don't go advising people. The world doesn't need my help. The world doesn't need anybody's help. The one who created it, believe me, he's very capable of running the show without you and me. Okay? He can do it. So am I helping anybody? No. As long as I have that helping sense, I will make mistakes. Baba will not talk through me. My mind, my ego will talk. When I let go of that desire and say, I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to do anything. If you have anything in mind for me, present it to me. I will see how, and prompt me in the right direction. And then it happens. So I know that I'm not driving it. I have backed off. It's like that the lower self has stepped back to let the higher self take on. Let him drive. So when in that state of mind, when I hear even a little thing like, don't call, where my mind under the circumstances would have, by my intellectual exercise would have told me, call, my friend will mind it. I have not called her in such a long time, and it's not good. She was sick or something or whatever. That I should do it. My mind is saying do it, but inner voice is saying don't call. So who is it telling me? I know Swami does not want me to talk to this individual at this time. Why? Initially, in my journey, I did not know many whys. Sometimes I asked and never got any answers. Sometimes I got answers and never understood. And then came a stage where I stopped asking, and then guidance came and the explanation also came. Sometimes the explanation didn't come right away, but it unfolded itself over a period of time. And that patiently allowing it to unfold gave me a deeper understanding. It's like somebody was teaching me how to work with God. Okay, our interaction, relationship at individual level, at human level is different than at that level. And slowly after, some experiences very pleasant and some not so pleasant taught me how to behave myself. So I think it's a long process. 7-8 years have allowed me to know when my mind is tricking and when it's the true guidance coming in. I hope I answered your question. See, the very first visit to Bangalore, Whitefield, when I went there with the manuscript of the book, at that time, I was upset. I was disappointed. I said, what is going on? I mean, I didn't know how to deal with him. I just didn't know how to accept this kind of, that was a sort of in my mind a rejection. Okay, I felt rejected, and I felt like, human who thinks cheated. Gosh, I did all this, and not realizing that it's not me who is serving the Lord. Just think, He's serving us. He gave me the opportunity to become part of His story. He allowed me to have the experience. He allowed me to write them and share with others. And I have the guts to say, I did it for you? Heck no. He did it for me. But at that time, I did not understand that. I was like, all this happened and wonderful experiences, and it was like my Baba, and you have this much interaction with me, and now what happened to my relationship with you? So yeah, I was very disappointed at that time, but not for too long. He knows how to take care of those kind of emotions when he wants. So next trip, I was not even looking for anything. I had settled in my mind that I'm going to God, and it's up to God to decide what to give me, what not to give me. If he thinks it's good for me to have this interview or anything, without asking, he will give me. I don't want anything. I was in that state of mind, but I won't be honest if I told you that I stayed in that state of mind. At times, and I just like, oh, I wish you did it. Like, really, Baba, you're not gonna do it? Till the last minute I said, really? Then again the disappointment sets in, but that was the extent. I can't say that he has not been totally ignoring me either. I know that, I should know better. There was one wonderful experience I had in one of the trips. This was not the last, prior to that, when he gave me a car darshan. It was like he was going in a car, and because his car was coming, the traffic was stopped, and I was on the roadside. They stopped all the traffic, so policeman told me, just don't move from here, okay? The Baba's car is coming. So we all were standing, and I happened to be at a corner from where you take turn to enter into the ashram. And since I was at the corner, as such, Baba's car was coming very slow, but because it was at the corner, it almost came to a stop. And there are no coincidences, but it was a coincidence that he was sitting on the same side of the car where I was standing, and he was like this planter, that distance from me, and the window was also rolled down, and he looked at me, direct, eye contact, and my daughter was with me on this side. And if I have to use too many words how I felt, I think I won't do justice to it. But all I can tell you that my jaw was open, and I just was like, there was something happening to me. I was stunned and very thrilled, and there are no words to describe how I felt. There was something very, very, very special. And in that excitement, if you want to call it, that I even forgot to even bow down to him, which I do every day in my life. And there, I just stood there like that. And interestingly, and this is something, if you know Baba or have experienced, then only you will know what I'm talking here. I'm looking at him. He's looking straight like this. And then, like you're looking at each other, and then he turns his face this way with a smile. And as his head is moving this way, I observe, not that I thought, but I observe that my hands went like this and my head went like this. And then I say, oh, he's reminding me that I'm not bowing down to him. But it happened without my conscious mind thinking. And then I realized, oh yeah, I forgot to, show my, reverence, But that was, he's kind. He did it, just gave me a little taste that I've not forgotten you. You're there, fine, stay at a distance, but I'm taking care of you. In serving the Lord. And I see the Lord in you, and that's why I serve. Swami says, if you serve without that love, it's useless. You didn't earn any merit. When we do not have the love and engage in service, it doesn't count. It's the love. Did I answer your question? In my case, and we were talking yesterday, it's being exemplified only for the good of everybody, not that, he's doing something for my case. I'm a special case. No. it's it's just a, example he is putting in front of everybody. So in my case, what he did, he wanted to give a wide variety of experiences, so that when I get among my fellow beings and talk, I truly understand. I understand others. I understand their struggles in the realm of spirituality, and understand, have empathy, at the same time understanding to serve wherever I'm given the opportunity. So in my case, what he did, he took me to a, like a stepwise approach, from reading books, tremendous amount of scriptures. But he led me to. It's not that I just went to the library and decided I want to read this book, that book. He would give me a thought in my meditation, just like a bullet point, and then further elaboration on that point is in the book. So he would lead me to books. So he made me read books which I didn't even know existed. So that was one approach he took. Another he took in teaching me. Now the Indian, coming from Hindu background, maybe you can relate to things like Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama, Satyanarayan Puja, and this. And so a lot of these things I was not even familiar with. He got me to a point of doing Vishnu Sahasranam and Lalita Sahasranam 6 months in a row, till the point that I had Lord Vishnu's vision. And after that, when it's a deity, Lord Vishnu, for some of those who might not know, and when I had his vision, after that, stupid me was still continuing to do Vishnu Sahasranama next day. And normally it would be just fine, not that because you have vision now you stop worshipping. That's not how it goes. But in my case, he had a plan. So next day when I was doing Vishnu Sahasranama, he says, for the purpose we were doing, it's done. Stop. No longer need to do that. And Lalita Sahasranama, same thing. I had the wonderful vision of a divine mother. Stop. That's how he did it. He wanted me to know that these practices are meaningful. If done with a lot of intensity and love and devotion, they generate the promised results. But it was not for me to realize something using those techniques. That's not what I was going through. What I was going through is experience and know that it happens. So that if somebody else is doing, I know what they are doing, and I should know what to tell them and what not to tell them. He also did the same thing in Seva, gave the opportunities. But then there are times when my desire was there to serve somebody. He said, no, enough. So see, he's hand-holding here, wanting you to do something for the sake of experience. What he did before even that first book was written, in our experiences book, he very, very rapidly took me to a, like just take zip somebody at here at the goal and then drop them back down to the bottom. That's exactly what he did with me. He dropped me all the way down for the purpose, and it has happened twice. Up, down, then all the way up and again down. He says the first round of coming down was so that, see, first time if you are going from here to Detroit, and if somebody has what you call, with the lightning takes you there, and you get to see Detroit, but you don't even know how to get to Detroit. You don't have any, you have never even traveled that road. So he brought me down and made me travel the road so that I know how to get there. And once I reached there, he taught me again. He says, that was for getting familiar. This time, walk with others. Now you know it, but when others are walking up, you walk with them. That's what he did. And he explains all those things, otherwise it was hard to accept even having to come down at the bottom.
Shivangini, there's some young people and old people here new to Baba, and there are some people here who are, they're skeptical, they have doubts. What can you say about how are they to know that Baba is real? How are they to know that your experiences are real?
The ones who are sitting here, either they have been brought here due to divine will or worldly push, okay, or their own inner push, inner motivation, which again is divine. We think we are doing it, but it's some other force which makes us take decisions, certain decisions at certain times. So for them, any doubts they have are healthy doubts. You must have doubts at this stage. If you blindly accept me or Swami's teachings or other people's books and teachings and all that, you are wrong. You are not on the right path. You are never gonna get what you can possibly get out of this. You should question if you have questions, but don't create doubts and questions just for the sake of debates. But you should have questions because after all you're young, your exposure to this area is very new. Why shouldn't you have questions? Otherwise, how would you learn? But if you have doubts and nobody is willing to guide you with or answer your questions and clarify, then that's not good. If you stay in that state of doubts in your mind but don't express those, then also it's not going to help you. If you have doubts because what your own heart, your mind, or head and heart both say, then it's good. But if you are influenced by your environment into doubting, because we live in an environment, we don't trust each other. We don't trust information, we don't trust people, because we are living in an era, in a time, where there is overflow of information. What to trust, what not to trust, it's hard. There is so much hocus pocus too. So if you are influenced by that factor, then I think you should do a little introspection and ask yourself, just because I read some negative thing about this individual or about Sathya Sai Baba or about people faking their experiences and truly don't have it and all that, and for that reason if I'm doubting, then you need to work on your own self and say, no, I got to be better than that. I ought to know that I'm living in an environment where there is a lot of room to error by getting misled from the right thing onto the wrong. By same token, you can be in a jungle of information and never get to the right thing. So you have to train yourself a little bit, bring focus on what you want and what you are hearing. Is it making sense to you? If it is not, then ask questions. That's how you eliminate your doubts. But doubts, if you don't have it, I would be surprised. God may seem not to answer, but Swami has always said that there is no prayer which is unheard by divine. God always, always, always hears our prayers, because he's not far out. He's right here. He's that witness, that soul in us. He's hearing. As I said yesterday, he's formful and formless, both. He can take on any form, but that doesn't mean he's limited to that form. So he is very, very close to us. He hears every prayer. Then why we feel that he responds to, not responding to our prayers? Because we want certain answers. Because we are not patient. We want our answers and we want them now. If the answer is no, even if it is appearing that that's the answer coming from God constantly. You prayed, oh God, do this for my daughter, please give her good education, and she's flunking every class, right? You say, oh, God is not listening to my prayers. But what makes you think that God's response to your prayer is no? We don't take no as an answer. Why do we think it's not a response? It's a response. He just said no. He will give us what we need and deserve. And when we ask what we want, not what we deserve. Unfortunately, we don't know what we deserve or we don't. Only God knows, because He knows our past, present, and future. We are very myopic. We work with a limited information, limited mind, and we look around and say, why? She's my daughter. I'm educated. Why shouldn't she be educated? That's all my criteria. She's smart. God has given her brain. Why is she not scoring good grades? Why is she not working hard? That's all I want. I do not realize that in God's scheme of things, there are many reasons why He would not give somebody something. By the way, God never punishes. It may feel like punishment, but He never punishes. It feels punishment because that's not the response we wanted from Him. It's not comfortable the way we are. But He is simply doing what is good for us. If we are established in that faith, even the no answer will become acceptable. Even a painful response will become acceptable. Yeah, we make our prayers. Sometimes His response is yes, but He may not say it. Right? Your daughter wanted a bike. You went ahead and bought her the bike. She got the bike, but you never said that, come honey, I heard your desire for this bike and I'm buying it. You may not say all that, but you might just do it. And you might not do it the same day. You might take 2 months. Suppose you are a poor person, you need to save enough money before you can buy that bike or a car. You might take 1 full year and never inform the child that I'm working on saving money before I get you that car. But someday you might get it. That's God. Sometimes His answer is maybe. Like our children ask us, Mom, give me this, give me that. And we say, maybe. What does maybe mean? Work harder, become more deserving, and I will give it to you. Just wait. That's all He's saying. Just wait. I will give it to you. And He may not say it exactly in those words. But those are God's responses. Yes, maybe, no. But He responds. And one time, I was struggling with similar kind of situation in my heart. And He says, Shivangini, situation, position, and results are mine. Only efforts are yours. And what He meant by that human body, mind, intellect, whatever we are endowed with, has been given to us for the purpose of making effort. Pardon me? Yeah, sure. For making effort. So effort we always must. But while we are making the effort, we should pick signals from situation, position, and results. An example of that is like you want to fix a very nice meal for your family, and you want to make an effort in that direction. You walk in the kitchen and realize that the item you wanted to make, for that you don't even have ingredients. That is a situation. And then you get delayed in fixing the dinner, and comes your child or husband or whoever, and you were unable to fix the meal in time, and you get told that, gee, I'm hungry, or what is the matter, food is not ready, right? You feel like you got yelled at, literally. That is your position. In that situation, your position, which could have been a hungry child coming and saying, nothing, oh mom, it's okay, I will make peanut butter jelly and eat, don't worry. That could have been a position, but instead it was people got upset with you. Then there is a result that there was no food in the refrigerator. You all went hungry. Versus there was plenty of other things you could eat and fill your stomachs. So what Swami says, that your position, situation, and result are mine. It's divine will that puts us in that situation, position, and gives us certain results. But effort, your willingness, wanting to make the dinner, could have been like this, that you walked in, all the ingredients were there, we were quickly able to whip out a very delicious meal, and the family was very happy, everybody cherished the lunch together or whatever. So all he has given us to make the effort. Now comes the patience. Now I'm making the effort. Every day I go in the kitchen and I'm unable to get that right meal. How long I'm going to keep doing it? I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of everybody being upset with me. Swami says, every disappointment, frustration, every failure is really a gift of God to make us do better, get better. Patience, it's not easy to continue to make that effort, but we should always be guided by dharma. Dharma means righteousness, our obligatory duties done with love. See, any effort we make towards divine ought to be considered as our dharma, our obligatory duty. The reason it's our obligatory duty, Swami says, now don't get shocked by this statement, but Swami does say that there is only one reason for which we were given the human life. There is only one reason for which we exist, only one purpose. And that purpose is to realize our own divinity and attain divinity. If that is the only one purpose we are given the life for, then any effort in that direction, your spiritual sadhana like meditation, your reading holy scriptures, or singing devotional songs, or doing selfless service, seva, all these four fall in the category of good work. That is not where God is hinting you not to do it. No. He wants you to do it. Meditation is part of that. You must do it. You must keep trying till you succeed. You will succeed. Have faith, have trust. You will succeed. There are certain techniques. If you focus on what is missing in my technique and work on that, I'm sure success will come. Those are not the areas where we give in our effort. We give in our effort where it's like mind-based decision. I want to do this versus that, and I pursue this activity, and every effort I make, I see failure. It's a divine way of saying that you are going against the flow, against God's will. So that's when we take hands and back off and say, "Oh, maybe it's not for me. That's not what God wants." But not in all situations. Did I answer? Okay.
Do you have a question? Bob's got one.
Yeah. Do you have fun with Baba sometimes? I mean, just with conversation?
Oh, yes, yes. I'm glad you asked. I love to share those kind. Oh, wonderful. Now this perks me up. It was, it was very early on, okay? I was, well, I won't get into the details of where it was and all that, but Swami was teaching me this, quite a heavy duty stuff, how I should be good all the time and how I should behave and conduct myself and this and that. I mean, I respect because coming from. Then after a while I said, "Yeah, Baba, all that is good. You don't want me to be a party animal and just, be steady and calm down and all that is good." But I said, "Baba, I want to have fun." That's what I asked him. And he said, "Oh, you want fun? Okay, close your eyes." I closed my eyes, and before I know, it was a gorgeous spectrum of lights flying all over, like a much better than you can ever imagine. Even in the 4th of July, fireworks, it was better than that. But it was like a fireworks kind of thing. I was very amused, thrilled, but then I said, "Baba, this is not what I was talking about." When I said fun, my idea of fun was ongoing fun, in life fun. But he says, "Shivangini, this is the kind of thing that he's teaching. If I have that, I will feel having the fun without ever engaging in those activities which so far I am familiar with and calling them fun." He says, "Be patient." And believe me, that patience helped. Now I see in the hindsight what he meant. And yesterday I was mentioning there are no desires in my heart anymore. So do I not have fun? I'm having more fun than ever I had in my life, really. But it doesn't come with the cycle of fun today, disappointed tomorrow, depressed, next day, when fun. Then I'm not going through the roller coaster. That's all. I'm in the fun all the time.
In the Korean Virtues book, Divine Guidance, she asks God what God wants, and God says, "Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me in the driveway, talk to me in the bedroom, talk to me in the supermarket.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
talk to me." Can you relate to that? Does Baba say anything like that? Just talk to me.
Well, maybe, I'm a bad case here because I bug him too much. So maybe in my case he said, "Shut up." No, I think I do more than my share of talking with Baba. No.
That's why he likes it.
Baba likes all. Baba likes each one of us. And, that is something I wish we knew how much he loves us. I will share I'll just make a comment rather than share the whole story. One day he did something so very special for me. I sat down and cried. And those were not the tears of unhappiness. There was no sorrow in my heart. It was just to realize how much he loves everybody. Not me, everybody. Each one of us. I mean, and lately actually, when I went through my second drop in my spiritual journey, that's when he made me realize what he's doing for others. Earlier it was all me. And then it came to started finding out more and more what he's doing for other individuals in difficult situations, in different circumstances and all that. And that brings you to realize that, this is infinity we are dealing with. It's not just some little thing that earlier when I was having my experiences, I would say, "My Baba." it took me a good realization when not that I distanced myself from him, but there came a time I started saying my Baba. Because I realized he's not just my Baba, he's this whole world's Baba. And my children at that time used to say, one time my son jokingly said, "Oh gosh, Mom has hogged up Baba." Because all the time I would go, "My Baba, my Baba." You know? The more I get to know Swami, I realize that it's a real fallacy to think that that is God. But he is, because to me, somebody who, what he did, how he came into my life, and how he is coming into everybody else's life, seeing all that phenomena tells me that, oh yes, and I'm to the degree that yes, that is the divinity, but it's like a capsule you take in a pill, put a very potent medicine in there, and somebody gives you that capsule and says, take this, and by tomorrow you will have these phenomenal effects, and you are having difficulty. What this little thing can do for me? God is that divine being. It has, for our sake, accepted to pack himself in that capsule form called Baba. Is standing. Yeah, it's hard to accept that this whole big thing is right in that small little package, but that's what it is. He's doing it just because he can take any form. He's unlimited, but he can limit himself if he wants to for the purpose, and that's what he's doing.
Remind me,
My Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind. Om Shri Sai Ram, Lilo Mera Pranam, Sai Ram, Sathya Sai Ram, Koti Koti Pranam.